Illegal Shift Studios. Is it studios or studio? Is it fair to say multiple? That would imply we have multiple Illegal Shift Studios.
I wish we had. I wish we had more than one.
The Illegal Shift Studio. It's the One More I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll, and welcome to the podcast. Jason Kiefer is here, and we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you putting together the Illegal Shift Studio.
Here we are.
But it's a beautiful. I was looking at the neighbor's house. It's got some unusual lighting on the neighbor's house.
It is a little unusual.
At first, I thought, okay, this guy still has his Christmas lights out. But I looked at it, and they're not exactly Christmas lights. Which is, I mean, fine. I'm fine with it. I'm just you do whatever you light up your house however you want. But I'm just saying it.
You
a little different,
and you know who the neighbors are.
I did. Oh, this neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay. I did. Yeah.
No. So
yeah, you're right. I do know who that neighbor is.
I actually brought up to Jill about doing like the permanently affixed lighting to where you could do all the different holidays, but you throw LED lights and affix them to the soffit or whatever. And 4th of July, Thanksgiving, you can change all the shit.
Well, that's probably going to be a thing now.
But that's a lot more work
with the LED lighting.
A lot more work and effort than I really want to put in, to be honest with you.
So this is the One More I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi to everyone who's in the chats right now. Another podcast minus Rob Herking, who is still convalescing from his episode that he had. It's been about 2 weeks now, 2+ weeks.
Tomorrow will be 2 weeks.
Yeah, and so we are still hoping for his speedy recovery.
Yep. I saw him yesterday, and you were, slowly but surely baby stepping. Got some things going on, but no new real big updates to throw out to any of the listeners or followers. But just make sure you keep his family and him in your thoughts and prayers, and we're gonna hopefully have him back here soon. Not the same. I said it last time. It's not the same without him. There's not as much yelling.
there's a lot less.
And it's usually
there's a lot less of that going on.
And it's usually yelling on my part, going, "God damn it, both of you, shut up!"
It just dawned on me. That we should do in his honor this day in history.
Okay.
But I don't have it prepared. I literally, as I'm sitting here right now, I was just thinking we don't have to do it right now, but maybe for our next podcast, we'll do the Rob Herking
this day
memorial. This day.
I don't think we need to go memorial.
Oh, yeah, maybe memorial.
We're not at memorial.
That's a little premature, I know.
But in honor,
don't read anything into that, please.
Correct. In honor of him not being here, yes, we could do it this day in history, and then we could make some really, really shitty sports bets.
That's a good idea.
That would be good too. We will bet on curling, cricket, polo. We'll pick some like obscure sports we have no idea.
I love curling.
I know. I watch it in the Olympics.
Anything other than the Olympics, I don't watch. But no, curling in the Olympics is fantastic.
Yes. So
I even watch women's curling.
We'll bet on curling. Oh, I know why you watch women's curling.
Have you seen some of those women?
Yes.
I mean, my God.
And there is a long stride where they're wearing essentially yoga pants. That's why you watch it. I know why.
Well, I mean, they're athletes.
I don't watch men's curling. I only watch women's curling.
But you don't watch the men's curling?
No. Because
the men's game is.
I see everything that they have to offer, and I don't need to see that.
Well, that's I'm not watching the men's game for that.
See, somebody had to pull the Rob, and I pulled the Rob right there.
You did. You did. No, the men's game.
Cheers.
I love the men's game because it has all the elements. It has teamwork. It has strategy. It has finesse. It has power. A little bit of luck. And it's like it's high drama all the time.
Something we didn't even like pre-plan talking about, but let me ask you this, because you brought up luck. How much, out of that, how much skill do you think, if you're going to, you throw darts, you're throwing at a dartboard.
Yeah.
And we know some really good dart players. But to slide we'll call it a puck. I know it's not
It's a
called
stone.
a stone.
Yeah.
However much it weighs. How good do you have to be? How was your skill level? How do you, I mean, throwing it multiple times, you get used to it, right? But how much luck do you think is involved if you had to put a percentage on it?
I think there's a little bit of luck involved. But I think the skill of that game
is the scrubbers. The
Yeah.
scrubbers are the dudes.
The
gals.
scrubbers, I mean, are important. But I was when I was working in Dayton on the morning show there, and this goes back
75 years.
No, not 75 years, but 7 or 8 years. It's been a while. And we did a segment on our morning show with the local curling club. And this was, I guess, while, like either while the Olympics was going on or shortly thereafter.
You got to do it?
So we went out to a public sheet of ice.
Oh,
and
jealous.
And they have a thing. The ice is not flat. It's not smooth. It's pebbled. So they have a device. It's essentially a water jug with, when the kids get baptized in the church and they're waving the wand around with the water. It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
So you go back and forth on the ice and you wave this water around, and it creates, little mounds of ice. So there's a lot less friction with that stone going over that, right? It's going pebble to pebble instead of just on a flat sheet of ice. So there's a lot less friction. And then, when you get that little turn going, you actually at the same time you get a little more bite. The science of it is weird, but that's one thing I learned.
You got to,
and then they had a hack there, which is what you put your feet in, and so they're okay.
I thought they were talking about you.
No, well, I was a hack, and when it comes to curling, I'm a total hack. But they have one of the things there, and you put and so. You see them pushing off that thing, and they're just gently gliding down the ice and throwing that stone.
It's so majestic.
I mean, that was tons harder than I thought it was going to be. That is, I mean, that takes years to learn how to do that in a way that is effective.
Well, I need video footage. I need video footage of you doing that.
I don't even. That's a good question. I'm not sure if any of it exists.
People, you'll get it. You'll call one of your news people because that has to be aired.
I know, but that was in Dayton. I don't even know if I know anybody in Dayton anymore.
I am so jealous you got to do that because I know.
Yeah, but it was different. I thought, okay, look, I'm a natural athlete. I'm good at just about anything. I'll be able to just go up there and do it like I've been doing it all along. And it was it was very awkward.
It's not that. I mean, that's not natural shit for us. It's not natural, but I know.
So that was my curling experience.
I know a couple places they actually have curling leagues.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I want to get in a curling league. I don't know why. Just something different. Try it.
When Paula and I visited Canada years ago, we stayed in a.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed in there.
As was our incident with the underage, like
no, if you have a DUI, you're not allowed in there. They treat that
Canada
like a felony.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're banned from going into Canada?
Supposedly, I've heard multiple different versions, but we had a warthog function in Canada, and I was going to have to petition the country of Canada to cross the border, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not writing a letter. That was 20 years ago. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
Now, supposedly, I've been told that I can get in there, but it's a mediocre country at best, and I really don't have any desire to go.
Yeah, but
I was there once.
We went to Canada to see the Highland Games, and we stayed in this little town called Guelph. Guelph, I believe it's spelled. And they have a curling arena there in that small town. And so we saw the sign outside. I said, I got to go in there and look at that. So we go in, and they got, there's like trophies on the wall going back to the 1800s. And you're looking out there on the sheet of ice, and people are practicing. And the beautiful thing was they had beer stacked from floor to ceiling out there.
Yes.
I mean, it's a giant refrigerator, so that's where they keep their beer.
That's a sport I could wrap my mind around.
Oh yeah, so beer drinking is at least I guess in the recreational leagues is how they do it in Canada. So I grabbed they had a whole bunch of brooms up there in the front, so I grabbed a broom and put it right next to me, and my wife took a picture with the ice in the background. So that was pretty cool.
I'm all about it. Sorry, I'm pulling up what you sent me earlier.
I know. Well, actually, you sent it to me, and
we went on a curling escapade, but that's the way this podcast works.
I mean, that's when the Olympics come on, you can catch me. Winter Olympics, I like to watch the curling. I like women's figure skating. I like what else do I like? I like the bobsled and the luge and all that kind of stuff. I'll watch some of that stuff. The ski jumping, I like that in the Winter Olympics. About that. All right,
I'm just making sure I had that right.
Yeah. Well, so what happened was Jason sent me a link earlier about Joe Biden, and there's an AI, a fake robocall that's going around New Hampshire. I had not really heard about it, and I certainly had not heard the call, but I found the audio of the call, so I sent it to him right before we started. And you, the viewer and the listener of One More and I'm Out of Here, will soon be able to hear the Joe Biden fake robocall.
Well, and the reason, I bring that, I sent that to you because obviously I didn't need to send you an article, but the fact that Rob DeSantis decided to suspend his run and decided to endorse Donald Trump, which he talked all kinds of shit about. It was just funny to me when I saw that there was a robocall going around, because you and we've talked about it on the podcast before, went and saw the 2,000 mules and about the election fraud and all the bullshit. But here we are. All right. So now we're down to Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. I was just trying to make sure I had that shared. But here we are.
And the polls are coming to a close in New Hampshire as we speak.
Yes.
So maybe we'll have an update on that before we call it a podcast tonight.
We will look for it, but let me make sure I have everything good. Right. But yeah,
it's very complicated getting this stuff on.
Well, and with me not having the audio, and I was running around all day, so I didn't have a chance to get
Bosco says, is Canadian beer worth a damn or darn? No, he says damn. I don't know. I know a lot of guys who drink the Labatt's Blue.
I like Labatt's.
They've got a light version of it now, which I had some this summer. It was not bad. But other than that, I can't say I haven't had a lot of Canadian beer.
Every time I take a drink of one, I have to say, "Is this good, eh?" All right, so we're going to play this robocall, which I think is complete bullshit.
And where is this happening?
We know the value of voting Democratic when our votes count. It's important that you save your vote for the November election. We'll need your help in electing Democrats up and down the ticket. Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again. Your vote makes a difference in November, not this Tuesday. If you would like to be removed from future calls, please press 2 now.
So, that's the hard part. With all this AI shit, is how they can do that. Now, do I think that is legitimate? No, I don't. But everything that they're doing,
it doesn't sound that good.
No,
it doesn't sound that good to me.
And that was in New Hampshire. You asked where?
Yeah.
But with all the AI shit that they're doing, whoever put that out could have done better. I mean, if you're legitimately going to try to sway people to not vote in the primary, or and sway people to vote against Donald Trump or Nikki Haley, whoever ends up being the Republican candidate, you could do a little bit better than that. I've seen pictures that are better with AI. I've heard a lot more better audio with AI. So now the scary part is you get on the internet, you don't know what is fucking real and what's not.
Well, in the state of Florida, they passed a law that political commercials cannot contain any AI generated images or I guess audio like this in political commercials. So I think that's a good thing in Florida, and they're probably going to wind up doing it in every other state.
But my question is how are you like that sounded to me like bullshit. But
yeah, that was a pretty lame attempt right there.
But
I'm sure there's people out there that could do a better fake Joe Biden.
So then how are you actually making sure that they're not using AI in these, whether internet, TV, whatever, radio? I mean, how are you actually going to know? I mean, I've seen pictures on my Facebook, with just Jennifer Aniston like all fucking sprawled out. Yeah. Well, I know that she didn't pose for that,
right? Like
she's somewhat of a classy lady. I know that's not, and I can look at it and tell just enough like that's not her head on that fucking body. But you have people that have tons of money that will invest more and more and more, especially political, because they have political, means, and they're going to get, whatever the rewards are. How do you prove that? I mean, I love the fact that they put that out there, but how do you prove it? Is my question.
Well, that's the thing. It's gonna get tougher and tougher to prove it. It's gonna get tougher and tougher to sniff that stuff out. I saw a story on the news the other day, and they were talking about, now you can use AI to help you purchase a wine at your favorite grocery store. And so then they cut to a clip of the guy, and this is obviously the guy who's selling this malarkey, is standing there by a digital TV screen.
Did you just use the term malarkey?
I did.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
It just popped in my head. But he says, here's Jason, our AI wine sommelier. And he says, hey, Jason, I'm having steak for dinner tonight. What kind of wine do I want? And then the guy on the screen starts talking. And it was just when it's a still photo, and I'm going to actually send you another AI related thing here. So let me do that. But when it's a still photo, it's a lot harder to discern. They have not yet perfected the movement of the mouth and have the voice match up to that. I'm also told that a good way to tell if something is AI or fake is look at the hands. They haven't perfected how to do, for some reason, the computer likes to put like 6 fingers.
Can't do hand movement.
Yeah. So, stuff like that. Whatever that movement was, we were just doing that.
I will make sure that I pay more attention to that.
But
I've also heard like the background. So like if they try to do something like where it's outside,
yeah,
and you're looking at shadows and whatever. I mean, it's very hard, with nature, the wind blowing or whatever, to try to mimic all of that. But it is scary though, like where we're at. I mean, if One More and I'm Out of Here LLC / news network / sports network / whatever network else Rob perfected.
Yeah.
If we had more money, then we would be able to AI Rob next to us, and Rob would be here talking.
There you now see that's an excellent point.
But we're not there yet.
We could have a fake Rob sitting right next to us doing the show, but
the One More and I'm Out of Here news network is definitely not there yet.
No, and a lot of it is going to depend on the integrity of the person who's putting stuff out there. So if I'm presenting a program, a podcast, a newscast, and there's AI involved, I'm going to let the viewer know this section of the podcast is artificial intelligence or computer generated or however you want to say it.
Right.
I mean, that's just, I think, responsibility on the person who's putting that out there to inform people and let them know. I don't think the technology is all the way there yet, but I just sent you another email that contains a couple of still images of an AI model. And the thing about this is that this AI model, I mean, she looks totally hot. And if you look at it, I mean, at first glance, it looks like a real woman.
All right.
But then I think if you spend some time, I mean, really examining this picture, then I think you'll be able to tell, well, maybe it isn't real. But the thing is, the people who are looking at this, and there's the girl right there. Scroll down to the next one with even a better photo. And she's getting ready to do her exercise routine. So if you look at that, I mean, it almost looks like a real woman. At first glance, it would look like a real woman.
Are there more or no?
Those are the only two photos. Okay. But this is called Lexi Love, raking in $30,000 a month from lonely men. All right. They know it's an AI model, and they've already gotten like 20 marriage proposals.
Oh my God.
So there are dudes who are looking at this fake chick, and they're preying on guys who are lonely enough to where the only place they can find companionship is over the computer. And of course,
we call those losers.
And of course, you know, they make it, you know, I guess the way she talks to you or interacts with you, you know, and you say, hey, I jerked off 10 times today thinking about you. And then she's going to think that's great and wonderful. And then the guy says, yeah, will you marry me? And I mean,
some guy,
they're paying money. They're paying
some guy that's 380 pounds leaning on a computer.
$30,000 a month.
He's like, oh, thanks, sweetheart. Appreciate you. I love you.
$30,000 a month.
That's fucking that. And see,
and that number's only going to go up.
And that is utter fucking stupidity. Utter stupidity. I agree. Like where you can see, like you have like it's too fucking perfect. There's just too many things that are perfect in that picture. I'm like, yep. I was looking for a dick, to be honest with you, just to make sure. But you have these guys that live in their mom's basement going, oh, mom, hold on. Meatloaf will be done. I know the meatloaf's done, but I'm coming up in a second, but I got to do something real quick. God,
that part of that movie was so funny, man. Will Ferrell and Wedding Crashers.
What is she doing?
Hey, Ma! About that meatloaf.
But people are fucking dumb, and you have to look through. And any of the articles that we bring, we're not, we're not saying that we're right. And all of these, whatever. You have to do your own research. You have to look at it. But don't be fucking dumb. I mean, the AI shit is so fucking scary, though, because of what they can do now.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't trust anything. And what you were saying with, if you were doing a radio show or whatever, this portion is brought to you by AI, whatever. We have the ability with the podcast to bring AI in through Buzzsprout, but like we choose not to do it. Like we have just never. I don't want any part of that.
Are you saying there's AI generated podcasts out there?
Yes, there absolutely is. You just throw some topics in, whatever, and you don't even have to set up a studio or set up whatever.
I swear to God, this is not one. We are
anybody that's listened to who, and a lot of these people have been faithful followers, which we appreciate, know that this is not AI because it's a fucking shit show and a dumpster fire every time. But we love it. It's our dumpster fire.
Falconator Dano said jerk off. Holy shit. What, I'm not allowed to say that?
Well, that's out of character for you.
It is?
A little bit.
I don't know. Well,
you occasionally go off the rails.
Trying to channel Rob Erking a little bit.
That's right. We have to.
We gotta
nicely job, Falk.
Keep that element in the show.
That's right. Just give a little bits here and there.
So what else do we have? I saw this story. Did we talk about Haley Davidson?
I don't think so.
Haley Davidson
If
is
we did, I was drunk.
I don't think we did it on our last podcast.
Definitely not the last one.
Haley Davidson is a dude.
Oh, Rich said 100%. Everybody drink.
Oh, man.
Everybody drink. Every 100% goes to Rob.
Haley Davidson is a dude who likes to play golf. Nothing wrong with that. But Haley Davidson is a dude who likes to play professional golf and prefers to do it as a woman.
I did see that.
Davidson won the NXXT Women's Classic in a playoff. Davidson wrote on Instagram, the win put her in first place to earn an Epson Tour exemption. Epson Tour is the developmental tour for the LPGA Tour. So Ms. Davidson or Mr. Davidson is working his way up the LPGA ladder and is positioning himself to get on the LPGA Tour.
What a fucking joke.
Let's see. The headline of this story reads, transgender golfer Haley Davidson pushes back on misinformed hatred amid outrage over win in women's tour.
You shitting me?
It's crazy the amount of misinformed hatred I've received so far today, Davidson wrote. Of all these people, I hit it 300 yards or even 280 yards. How about 250 on a good day? Davidson leads the pack with 1,320 points dating back to November. Davidson also has 2 second-place finishes and has finished in the top 10 in each of the 5 events. And Fox News used the pronoun she. She's played. So
our buddy Rich said the developmental tour for the developmentally handicapped.
So this guy claims he hits a 250 yards on a good day. So he's out there saying, oh, well, yeah, he's blowing it 350 yards, 300 yards by all these other women golfers. Well, I don't know. We should look up look up LPGA driving average and see what it is. So this guy's claiming he hits a 250. I'll bet most LPGA women don't hit. Maybe they might be close to that. But this guy's talking because his driving distance is not all that great, that he doesn't have an advantage over the women on the LPGA tour.
All right, so
the ladies professional golfers.
Yeah, so LPGA, we've got 262, 258, 257, 256, 255. The lowest getting out of the 250s is down to like the 15th at 249.
Okay, so the top 13, the top 14 on the LPGA tour hit at 250 yards.
Yep, that's their average driving distance.
And there's a whole hell of a lot. That list gets a whole hell of a lot longer when you get past 15.
Oh, yeah. 35th was 229.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
we talked.
If this guy was playing men's golf, we would never hear his name.
Right, and we've hit the swimming, multiple times, with Leah Thomas and everything else. But yeah, okay, you're hitting at fucking 280 in a women's league. We'll just call his average 280, just for between 300 and 250. We'll just call it 280. You're in a women's league and you're pissed off because they're allowing you to do it, which shame on them. My opinion. One more out here doesn't necessarily ascribe to my opinion completely, but fuck you.
I like your opinion.
I know. Well, I'm just putting a disclaimer out.
Yeah.
That way we don't get sued. Because our attorney's down and out right now. So you have to put the disclaimer out. Well, I mean, what a bunch of horse shit. He wants to sit there, and I love the transgender golfer Haley Davidson. Now, was his man named Harley?
I don't know.
Was he named Harley?
I have no
And then he
I have no I have
changes
not
the
I
hair.
have not looked into the story to that that depth.
Well,
But you see a picture, I mean, you can look at a picture of this dude, and he looks like a dude. He looks like a dude with who needs a and I put on my my Facebook, not Facebook, but what's that other one? Twitter
The
or
Twitter.
X.
The X.
It's X now. I said looks like a dude in need of a man's ear. Which you don't get the reference, but that was a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, because I fucking hate that show.
It was a funny episode there. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Is that a dude?
We'll share that screen right quick. We'll share the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Multiple images.
There, you gonna be able to put them all up?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Because I didn't know what this. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so offended right now. I'm so offended that that's the way you're treating me.
Well, sorry, you're gonna put yourself out there. And the thing is, when it comes to golf,
Yeah, I mean, David J brought up they still hit from the ladies' tees, which in LPGA they have their set tees.
they've got their own tees.
set.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is a serious question. So, like the PGA, you hit from the tips all the way back. Does the LPGA do the same?
It varies from golf course to golf course.
Okay.
No, I know on the PGA Tour they use a range of driving or tee locations.
Bosco said, just looking at him, that's a sensitive ass dude. You are not wrong, my man. I mean, what the fuck? Why can't we have the sports the way they used to be? Rewind 10 fucking years ago, the way sports used to be.
No, I agree.
I don't get it. I really, honestly don't get it. I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I'm going to troll that motherfucker. I'm trolling him on fucking Twitter, Instagram, all of it.
Haley Davidson.
Yep. I'm going to call him Harley in my head, but I know it's Haley.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
we might get canceled again, but because I'm trolling him from the One More page.
It just bugs me. The notion that you can be, and look, maybe as a guy, he's probably a better golfer than you and me.
Sure.
But we never availed ourselves of that opportunity to play against the girls and then see how we measure up.
I'm not cutting my dick off or tucking my dick to go play against girls either. I know I'm a dude. I either hit from the whites or the blues. I don't hit from the blacks.
No, I've played with plenty of women who were way better golfers than I was.
Fuck yeah. So stay in your lane, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
You know, I mean, okay, fine. You want to play golf for a living? Then man up and play on the fucking men's tour. You can't play golf for a living? Well, boo fucking who? Well, would you love to play golf for a living?
Hell yeah.
Would you love to be touring around where the sun is always shining?
It's a lot of pressure.
Hawaii, California, Arizona, Florida. I mean, that's where the tour's going all right now. Would you like to be able to do that instead of, be here at the Illegal Shift studio, hacking out a podcast to our 11 viewers?
Yes.
Not that we don't appreciate our viewers.
Yes. No.
But I'm just saying.
Or going into the fucking fire.
No, but you got to be a
going
fucking working. We got to be working fucking schleps like everybody else.
Right.
No, I want to play golf for a living. I should be able to if I want to.
And I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. Then do what it takes.
I'm gonna hang my dick out. Roller said let it hang out.
I can hit it 250 yards, and I'm fucking way older than that dude.
I want to see you and that dude play. And I want to see you talk shit the whole time.
I mean, there was
that would be the greatest. That would be the.
There was a time I could hit it 300 yards,
but that would be the greatest remote podcast that we could do. Is have a camera and a microphone of you heckling that motherfucker. All 18
oh my
holes.
God!
You're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it there, Sally. Oh, we'd be canceled immediately.
He misses a 10-foot putt. Did you strain your vagina on that one?
Oh God, we would be so.
Oh, what's that? You don't have a vagina? Sorry.
Well, I'm in transition. I don't have either one.
Piece of shit.
Dude, piece of shit. I love it.
I mean, come on, man.
I love it.
It's a pretty simple concept. Women should play women's sports. Men should play men's sports.
Very, very simple. It is very simple. I
I don't know.
completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
And if you want to be, if you can transgender, or be a transgender all day long, but if you were born a dude, then you bring your fake titties and all the rest of it to the men's side of the ledger, and that's where you tee it up.
Can you imagine that locker room at the fucking Masters?
Oh my
Guys getting their fucking golf shoes on,
God.
fucking tits hanging out. How prestigious that place is. And they're like, oh, fuck me. Because guess what? That's going to happen.
No.
That is coming down the pike at some point because they're going to have to.
Have to what?
They're going to have to allow a girl transitioning or a dude transitioning. They're going to allow it. It's going to you watch and see.
Well, they already have a women's event at Augusta.
I understand that. Somebody that wants to play the actual men's Masters, you watch. It's going to happen.
Well, they'll have to qualify. You have to qualify to be there.
I understand that. I understand.
But that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say about
But
golf.
that locker room is going to change. In our lifetime, it's going to change to where it's going to be, you're going to see it all over ESPN. It's going to be this big to do where it's, the
first woman ever playing in the Masters.
Or some girl wanting to transition the other way.
Well, here's
with
the
a
thing.
fucking wang hanging out in the fucking shower.
If
you watch,
if there's a woman who can go out and Michelle, we tried this, Anna Consortium tried it. I think there's been a couple others that can go out and play from the men's tees, play the exact same yardage that the men play. And if they can beat the men, guess what? They can qualify for the Masters. It doesn't say anything that you got to have a swinging dick. If you're a woman and you can beat the men and qualify, you can win a PGA, not an LPGA tournament, but a PGA tournament. Then you qualify for the Masters.
You
go
wait.
out there and do it.
You wait. I cannot wait till this happens because it's going to. In our lifetime, it's going to happen.
All right, we'll see.
Then
we'll talk about it on the podcast.
One of the most prestigious fucking clubs in the country is going to have to open their woke ass eyes. I don't agree with it, but it's going to happen, and I can't wait.
Well, I mean, there was
because that's good. That's good content for us.
There was a time they didn't have any women as members there,
right? Well, now you got Condoleezza Rice, who's what I think she sits on the board now.
I think she does.
And a black female at that.
I'd vote for her to be president. I like Condoleezza Rice.
I don't know enough.
Very sensible.
I don't know enough. I can't rebut or
very
agree.
Sensible person. Oh well, Dan, you're just an old white guy. Got your white privilege and all that other shit. You don't want to vote for. You don't like Kamala Harris because she's a person of color.
No, she's an idiot. That's why.
People want to say she's African. She's not African American. So all this horse shit about you don't want to vote for Hillary because she's a woman. Well, no, I have profound disagreements with their
with their
politics and their policies and the way they look at things. I mean, what a bunch of crap.
I love it. I love it. I love it that you wear that. Like you wear it back here. You wear it back here and that comes out. That's perfect.
Well, I mean that's what that people want to criticize people like me and they can't look any farther than the color of someone's skin when it and I was talking about this on the radio the other day.
Roller had a question.
Roller, what's up?
He said, would you vote for me? Would you vote for Roller for president?
Well, it depends on what he was running for.
We need your politics, Roller.
He said, would you vote for me? Well, it depends.
Well, he's a person of color. And
what office is he running
he
for?
supposedly has a weeder.
I'd vote for him right now to be a Hamilton County commissioner.
Boom, you're in. All right, start. We'll get your campaign started, Roller. We think he has a wiener. We're not positive. Jury, the jury's out. He might be transitioning.
He says it's average.
Yeah,
Just average.
I think that's why he might be transitioning, because it was just average. Let me ask your opinion on this, Dan. So this is one story I shot to you. Let me pull it up here. But all right, so let's get, before I even pull the story up, your position on a death penalty. Yay or nay?
Yes.
All right.
So we need the death penalty. Not only do we need it, we need to use it. We need to use it in the right way, because if you don't use it, then it doesn't have any deterrent effect. It doesn't serve the purpose. And I remember talking to Joe Dieters about this one time. And Joe Dieters, for those of you who don't know, was for a long time the prosecutor here in the county that we live in Hamilton County. And then he went on to state office as a state treasurer, came back to Hamilton County and became the prosecutor again. And now he's a judge on the Ohio State Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. And he's a huge advocate for the death penalty. At one point, and this may still be true, I think Hamilton County had more death penalty cases in Ohio than any other county in Ohio. And Joe Dieters is one who said, if someone is eligible for the death penalty, I don't plead it down. Because and that's one of the great things about him, is that he doesn't sugarcoat how heinous these acts are. When someone commits a crime that's worthy of the death penalty, he'll take the time to describe to anyone in great detail what these individuals did and why they're deserving of forfeiting their life. And he'll go painstakingly through all the evidence and everything that happened at trial, and he'll take the time to do it. And this whole notion that there's individuals out there who wrongfully wind up getting executed, something like that. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but they're very few and far between.
It's a $50 fine because your phone went off, by the way.
It shouldn't go off.
$50 fine.
Let me see something here.
It goes into the one more about
Nope, I didn't have it on silent.
Nope, sure didn't.
$5 fine? Okay.
No, 50.
50 cent?
$50. so I bring this up because I saw this article.
But no, I'm in favor of the death penalty. So there you go.
So Alabama is now they're gonna use nitrogen, which I actually am a proponent of, in the fact that.
How exactly does that work?
I mean, reading the article, they're literally going to put a mask on your face and just take all the oxygen away. Right. They're going to pump you full oxygen with nitrogen with no oxygen.
100% nitrogen.
100% nitrogen.
My bad.
So it takes. Yep. Fuck. Look at you.
That's my bad.
Now, depending on what side of the fence you sit on, whether you want these guys to suffer.
Hi everyone. I'm enjoying cold Coors Light tonight.
They're not a sponsor, but we're going to try.
Well, see, if Coors Light was a sponsor, this is something we would do during the podcast.
But supposedly this is it's more painless. So depending on what side of the death penalty you are, like, do you want people to suffer? Do you not? Whatever. But taking out the agony, if you want a hanging, if you want, and I don't know. And I've actually tried to do a little bit of research on when you get the lethal injection, like, what do they feel? Because, I mean, you're never going to know unless the lethal injection didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Because there were 3 different chemicals that they would put in. And I've heard stories of where the chemicals weren't in the right mixture, and it's very painful, and people are like, well, yeah, you got the death penalty. That's what you deserve.
Seems to me that
if you're dying, you're dying is the way I look at it.
That whole notion of the chemical cocktail is unnecessarily complicated.
Yes.
It creates all those places where something can go wrong.
Right.
In multiple vectors.
This seems to be very, very simple. very less complex.
So
But-
you're strapped down, I would imagine.
So you're strapped down. They put a mask on your face, almost. I mean, and they didn't show a picture or whatever, but
Just
essentially almost like a self-contained breathing apparatus mask that I would wear.
breathe normally.
So, but it's nitrogen is pumped in,
Yeah.
and then you have no oxygen. So I'm trying to find where in here exactly. He said, what effect the condemned person will feel from the nitrogen gas itself, no one knows. So people are like, well, if nobody knows. Well, nobody knows exactly what somebody feels when they get a lethal injection. Nobody knows what somebody feels when they're in front of a firing squad. So it's like some of this shit that's coming out, but this has never been done before. It's an experimental procedure. Let's see. So it eliminates all the oxygen from the air, which obviously, and then
How many breaths does it say? How many breaths it would take?
Since a condemned person will not be breathing any oxygen, he will die. It's a little different than putting it is little different. Let me make sure I read that right. Is little different than putting a plastic bag over one's head. That's what one of the people that are pushing against it.
No,
so
I don't think so.
The state of Alabama has predicted in federal court filings that the nitrogen gas will, quote unquote, cause unconsciousness within seconds and cause death within minutes. So you're still getting the same result.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a pedophile, I want you to suffer as much as you can. But I also understand that that's not the world that we live in. And what Kiefer wants, Kiefer doesn't get, right? And everybody's going to sit there and bicker and argue. But if you're getting the death penalty, you're sentenced to death. So I think this is actually probably cheaper on all of the fucking taxpayers because you're not buying medication. Nitrogen is not that fucking expensive to manufacture and to quote unquote purchase for the penal system.
Can probably get a really, really big tank of it for not much money at all.
So,
and look how many condemned you could put down with that.
Boom, done.
We've been using this tank since 1972 and it hasn't run out of gas yet.
Well, we could completely clean it out. We could clean out all of death rows. I saw this and it was interesting to me because I never heard of this. And there were a couple other states that were looking into it. With Giblet, it probably feels like being put under with laughing gas or whatever they use when you're going under for surgery. Yeah, I mean, it's going to put you. You're getting the end result. Period. End. You're getting a fucking end result. Us as human beings want to see you suffer for the bullshit that you put on other people, and I understand that, but that's just not the way. That's not the way our world works.
I've often thought that if I was in that position where I'm facing the death penalty, I would like to have a choice of execution methods. And I think I'd go for firing squad.
I'm intrigued. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I think
Old Sparky.
Oh no, I'm definitely not getting in the fucking chair. Fuck that. I watch a Green Mile and I watch that motherfucker fry. I ain't doing that.
No, that's not good.
Granted, I know it's a movie, people. I understand that. Firing squad, I think would probably be my
blindfold or no?
I would take blindfold.
Yeah,
just so I don't know. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
It's coming. Might hurt for a few seconds,
but even still, like I mean, bringing up the old Sparky, the electric.
I'd be
chair.
like, damn, this is what it feels like to get shot, and then I'm dead.
Yeah, boom.
About that much.
Wow, that hurt for about half a second. And then here I am going either to the depths of hell or wherever the fuck I'm going. Be like, what'd you feel? Fuck, I don't know. It was half a second. It was half a second of a burn.
Yeah, I got bigger fish to fry right now.
I've got bigger penance I got to figure out. But I mean, when you watch like the Green Mile,
yeah,
that shit literally has happened in the past where the electric chair didn't work right, lethal injection didn't work right, to where you're still a person, even though you did the most heinous fucking crimes. You could have killed fucking 17 families and a bus full of fucking nuns and orphan kids. If you're sentenced to death, you're sentenced to death. And guess what? Your life is over. It's done. I don't, us as people want to watch that fucking bullshit. They want to see somebody suffer. Guess what? You died. You're sentenced to death. You're dead. So I think honestly, I mean, just on a fiscal range, I think this is the best way to do it.
No, I watched some video the other day of a judge that was.
I could do it even cheaper, though. I have an idea of the way to do it even cheaper.
No, this female judge was.
Thanks for entertaining my idea.
Well, no, but I want to know. I want you to go ahead.
I'm fucking with you. You can.
Well, no, I want you to follow up on that thought when I'm done telling this little story.
All right.
But no, it was a female judge, and she was sentencing.
Our camera went out of focus.
This convict. How did that happen?
Because I think we had too much movement going on. Go ahead.
We're talking. Moving around.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Around. Do you want to get up and refocus while I'm telling this story?
Nah, keep talking.
But no, there was a female judge, and she was sentencing a convict, a dude that she just convicted in her courtroom, to 2 sentences. They were going to run consecutive. They're only 11 years each, but I think this dude did some really bad. Oh, excuse me, really bad things to a little boy.
He just threw up on the mic.
It was a good burp. And then, see, look at that. You fixed it.
I know. Keep talking.
And I was saying to myself, hopefully that when this dude goes to prison, he'll be in Gen Pop. The other prisoners will know what he's in there for. And this cocksucker will get what's coming to him.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about how he just ruined this kid's life. And that was the max. And she gave him the max. But, of course, judges are constrained by maximum sentencing rules, and she gave him the most she could possibly give him. To my way of thinking, 22 years for
tab spade.
22 years for the heinous acts this guy committed on this little kid. Certainly not enough. But you got to hope that our buddies in prison take care of that shit when he gets behind bars.
Yep. And there is, and so it's funny because I bring this story up, but my cheap version is you get like some old piece of shit fucking car that somebody's selling. The prison system, each prison buys just some fucking hillbilly's piece of shit car they're selling.
All right.
You pull it into the fucking Sally port. You just tape a hose to the exhaust pipe. You put the guy that's condemned or gal that's condemned into the driver's seat. You strap them in. Just put the hose in. Cost you maybe $10 worth of gas. Fire that car up and just let it. Same thing as the nitrogen shit, except you just kill them with carbon monoxide.
I'd even let them turn on their favorite radio station.
Yes, you can listen to whatever you want to.
AM radio, FM radio.
Way cheap. I think that's the cheapest way to do it.
Maybe have an 8-track tape player in there.
Ooh. Well, that's more your realm.
I know. I'm just saying.
Your realm and my dad's realm.
I'm just saying. It's little. What's your favorite song?
Yeah, whatever. Do you want an 8-track? All right, so you have it, and then you can pull out the CD player and put the 8-track in. But I think that's the cheapest way to do it.
Let him have a cigarette.
But I bring this in. I bring this story in because last night it was really, really funny. So I got caught on. I go through the fucking wormholes of Netflix, and Jill was ready for bed. I was not. My mind, dealing with Rob stuff. And I was just not ready to go to bed. So me and the dog are laying out. I'm on the couch. Dog's on the floor, and I was watching 60 Days In on Netflix.
Which is what? I'm not familiar with that.
It is civilians. You and I would volunteer to go into prison to give the warden or the sheriff or whoever's in charge, give them the ins and the outs of like, all right, how are the drugs getting in? How are the COs treating you? This and that. And you're giving like inside information, but you're volunteering to fucking go in, and you're in for fucking 2 months. So I'm watching this.
Are there cameras falling around?
Oh yeah. There's all because all the like the pods and like the rec areas and shit are all videoed anyway.
So that's what the video is coming from, surveillance camera. Because look, the prisoners see a film crew following you around.
Right.
They're going to know who the hell you are.
So they don't know. They supposedly don't know like who's a plant.
Right.
But you and I going into prison. So this one scene. So Brody, our dog, apparently was ready to go to bed. And I realized Jill didn't like close the door all the way. So he goes and noses the door open a little bit. So the door's ajar. I didn't realize how loud the TV was. Well, it was a segment where it was the women's section. And there was some big cat fight that was happening. And it was like, oh, you motherfucker. Well, I get up to get another beer out of the fridge. And Jill and I lock eyes down the hallway, and she's standing in the doorway, and she was like, what in the fuck kind of Desperate Housewives / Housewives of whatever the fuck you're watching? What are you watching?
The fuck is wrong with you?
I said, Brody's learning how to keister a shank. I said, well, I'm watching 60 Days In. But I got completely enthralled in this fucking show.
How many episodes are there?
Oh, dude, there's a ton.
Yeah,
there's a ton. I've only scratched the surface.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna hit some more tonight. Brody wanted to go to bed, so I turned it off because I let the dog dictate when I'm going to bed, apparently. But I was like, ooh, I got to figure out what the hell's happening. They were making hooch, toilet wine.
Oh yeah,
they were making all kinds of shit. But I'm like, what kind of stupid sons of bitches that are free walking the world are like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and put me in cuffs, take me into jail, and let me get fucking just berated. I'm too big of a bitch to go to jail. I'm the first one to tell you. Too big of a bitch.
Well, you know what they say. I'm only gay for this day.
Guess what? It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Well, some people feel like it's their
as Jill said,
their civic duty.
Jill says, "'Twas a cat fight for sure, dude." It literally did. I didn't realize how loud the TV was. I apologize, but dude,
do they show where they recruit these individuals?
Oh yeah, they interview them beforehand.
Yeah,
they show them getting quote unquote arrested.
Yeah,
and then taking in intake.
Do they give them fake names and a backstory and all the rest of it?
Backstory, all that shit. So like if you come in, I'm like, hey man, what are you in for? And you're like, ooh, armed robbery. Bitch, please, come on. But some of them are realistic. I mean, dude, this show's good. It's fucking good. Like, I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to turn it back on.
So they have to ingratiate themselves with the
one guy stayed
the general population.
One guy stayed an extra 60 days.
Holy shit.
Said, you know what, I'll do another.
He was getting
60.
ready to crack a big case or what?
He's not a cop. He's just there.
Yeah, but he was giving some good intel.
He was like, I kind of like it here. Dude, I'm not shitting you.
So aren't they saying, where do you go every Wednesday at 3:00 in the afternoon? Who the hell are you talking to? What's up with that?
You have to watch it. You have to. I implore all of you to watch it.
But they bring them out and then they interview them and then they send them back in, right?
Yeah. So like
they give them a debrief and all that.
You can hit a button on the wall, like because every cell has it. So like if a guy's having an issue, he hits the button.
Yeah.
But then there's they have like a sign, like a guy might be laying in his bed like this, like rocking like 5 times.
Yeah.
And they're all the cells are videoed, so they know, hey, he's putting the sign out, and then they'll pull him out and they'll pull him for interview.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, what's going on? He's like, oh man, I can't be with that cell. The one guy last night was farting so bad. He was like, dude, you gotta get him out of the cell. He goes, I had no idea this smoke could come out of a human being. I was laughing my fucking ass off. But our dog did learn how to keister a
prison
shank.
Ain't supposed to be a fucking rose guard.
And our dog learned how to keister a shank. So he's got
how to keister a shank.
He knows where his prison.
I hope that's a skill I never learned.
I implore everybody to go watch it though. But that's why I pulled that story up. But with the death penalty and the nitrogen, like I'm all about it.
When's that supposed to happen?
Let's see.
Coming up. Does it happen soon?
I remember. Why'd you have to fucking ask me that question?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Eugene Smith. Kenneth Eugene Smith.
Thursday.
All right.
Use a gas mask to replace breathable air with nitrogen. Now they're waiting on a court appeal on whether that's actually going to happen. So God. I will try to stay on top of that one because I'm just curious. But I think that's a cheaper way. It saves taxpayer dollars.
I would imagine it wouldn't take long. Couple of breaths and
No. People fill their tires in their cars with nitrogen.
Yeah.
It's got to be cheap.
I mean, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to black out, right?
Yeah, you just go. You're going to go to sleep, and then your heart's going to stop. Bing, bang, boom, done.
Maybe 3 or 4 breaths, and it's all over.
Probably. That would be my guess. I can try doing an experiment and I'll let you know.
Well, you got any around the house?
No, but I get it. Because that's how attached to this podcast I am. Is I will do that field research for you.
Who you can put the mask on?
Myself.
Oh, you can do it yourself. Now, come on. Now.
I'll just let you know. How it goes.
No, come on. No, don't do that.
I'll have a buddy system.
I think we need a disclaimer here.
A disclaimer.
We don't encourage anyone to try this at home.
Yeah, don't try it at home. I'll do it. You'll be fine.
No, we can't do that.
Dano, what else you got to say?
Well, I mean, it's been a pretty fast hour, I think. So
it's a super fast hour,
I know.
actually.
It's good. It's gone really fast.
It's amazing what happens when you come prepared with topics, then we just start going.
Well, I mean, and then the fake dude golfers just popped up.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
So,
and then actually, I just saw another headline about this dude that he's going to have to take some kind of drug test or some kind of testosterone test or something. Find how much, something like that.
Well, we'll make sure we follow up with that.
Prove your manhood, sir.
We'll make sure we follow up with those.
Prove your womanhood.
Those test results as well. But yeah, we're wishing a speedy recovery to Rob.
Rob.
I think we got a little ways to go, but anybody that listens or watches, if you are concerned about Rob, and we're going to try to help the family out just for a little bit, just to take the burden off. If you want to get with me and see what we can do, hit me on Instagram, jkeef21, or you can hit one more and I'm out of here on Instagram, or if you have my cell, text me, Facebook, all of those things. We're just right now we're in a big sea of uncertainty. We just don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, he's moving around and whatnot, but it's just
it's a roller coaster of emotion.
It is. It's a roller coaster of emotion, a sea of uncertainty, as I always say. But yeah, reach out. I mean, I know I'm collecting like some emails and stuff that I've gotten, so that way when he is better, show him. But yeah, reach out to us. Either at jkeef21 at on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook, Jason Kiefer. But we're missing our buddy. It's definitely different. So
not the same without him.
It's not the same. So we're gonna close the show out. Just I'm not even gonna do a smart ass comment. We're just gonna close it out. But thank you guys for being here. And,
thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
I'll throw it on Instagram when our next one is, because I didn't look at my phone yet. We have them scheduled, but I don't remember when the next one is.
Okay, that answers my next question.
It's in there. I just don't. I just haven't looked.
It's on my calendar somewhere.
But we're doing 2 a week, so we'll have another one here soon. So you guys take care.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.